Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. The price of literally everything is rising and happiness is falling. And with the prices of everything going up, that means the price of fragrances is going up also. Yes. Yes, it is. With that in mind, today I'm going over with you guys the 10 most expensive designer fragrances that you can get right now and whether or not they're worth it at that price point. I'll have all these fragrances that I'm going to talk to you about here today linked in the description. If I can find them at discounters, it'll be a discounter link because why pay more for the same thing unless you just hate yourself. One more thing, I am not including any Tom Ford fragrances in this list today. And why is that? Because pretty much the whole video would be Tom Ford's. They are a little bit pricey. So I went ahead and left Tom Ford out. I'm sorry, Tom Ford, but I didn't want this to be like, oh, the most expensive designer fragrances are literally all from the same brand. Now, I'm not gonna do this in order from cheapest to most expensive. That probably would make more sense, but let's get it kicked off with Gucci. And I'm gonna give you a twofer on this one. Guilty Parfum and Guilty Elixir. Now, in the United States, the MSRP for Guilty Parfum, a 90 ml, is $183. The price for Guilty Elixir, a 60 ml, is $183. So the Gucci Guilty line in the fragrance world, fragrance community, it gets hated on a bit, but the original Gucci Guilty and Gucci Guilty Black, I think are actually really nice fragrances if you're looking for something very clean, a little bit soapy fresh, that you can wear just about any time, big versatility and a nice compliment puller as well. Guilty Parfum is a bit similar to the original Guilty. It has that clean aspect to it, a little bit of that, you know, soapy aspect to it. Very fresh, elegant, and very versatile, easy wearing. Guilty Elixir, really nice quality on this one. Has good performance as well, as you would expect from an elixir. Elixir de Parfum, it says on the front here, because of course we all know that's a real concentration. And that smells similar to Reflection from Amouage, Reflection Man. That one actually, I gotta say, gets better every time I go back to it. It really does. But the question here is, are they worth the price? So for me, Guilty Parfum, $183 for a 90 ml. No, 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 no. You can find that though for about $85, a 90 ml from discounters. You can also get a 50 ml for about $60. And that's good too. $60, yeah, I think it's absolutely worth it at that price point. I think that Guilty Black is about like 58. You know, so it's right at about 60, same price as this from discounters. And the original Guilty Eau de Toilette, a little cheaper. That one's closer to like 50, 55. So to get the Parfum iteration for, you know, $5 more, yeah, I think that Guilty Parfum is worth it at discounter prices, is not worth it at full retail. Now, Guilty Elixir. This one, you can't really find it at discounters as of this video. 183 is pricey for a 60 ml, but the quality here is very nice. The fragrance itself is done very well, actually. Kind of difficult because there's a lot you can get from discounters at that price point, you know, almost $200. But if we're just talking solely MSRP and what you can get at MSRP, I think it's worth it. Guilty Elixir gets the pass, Parfum does not. The next one is a doozy. It is Sauvage Elixir from Christian Dior. A very popular fragrance, obviously, and very pricey. For a 100 ml size, you are looking at $250 for Sauvage Elixir. For this size, 60 ml, 180, which is very expensive, but is $3 less than Guilty Elixir for the same size. What a deal. Sauvage Elixir is one that I loved immediately. I think this stuff smells fantastic. It reminds me a bit of fragrances like Drakkar Noir, done with a much higher budget, modernized, made easier to wear. But that woody spiciness, man, it just smells fantastic in Sauvage Elixir. This stuff is great. And even though it comes in a small bottle, or came in a small bottle originally before they brought out the 100 ml, it lasts a long time. You don't need very much of this stuff. Fantastic scent, absolutely love it. Sauvage Elixir, is it worth it at retail? Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. But let's say you don't have that retail money. Don't worry, guys. This is at Discounters. And the 100 ml bottle at Discounters, it goes for $240. Oh. It's not a very good deal. Now, sometimes it may pop up at other Discounters for less, but guess what? When that happens, it sells out like that. So right now you can find it at Joma Shop for $240, but that's still expensive. You can find a 60 ml for $157, so a little bit less than full retail. Regardless, retail or Discounters, Sauvage Elixir, is it worth it? Yes. This one may be the easiest call for me out of everything. Now, we're talking expensive fragrances here today, but if you'd like to save some money on fragrances, whether expensive or cheap, here are a lot of codes you can use to do so. At any of these websites, use these codes to save yourself some money while shopping for fragrances. My newest code is Gents, G-E-N-T-S, at bestbrandsperfume.com. And they also have a YouTube channel as well. The fragrance website and the channel are run by Christian O, so check that out if you haven't. And they carry a lot of designer fragrances and especially clone fragrances. So they have a lot there that you may not find at other fragrance websites if you're looking for clones. So anytime you shop there, you use that code GENTS to save 10%. Okay, next up, Y Elixir from Yves Saint Laurent. Now this one is newer. So at Discounters, you can't really find this. In the future, you'll be able to, but right now you can't, as of when I'm filming. And this is $180 for a 60 ml size bottle, same pricing as Sauvage Elixir. So I would anticipate that when they come out with the 100 ml of this, it will be priced like Sauvage Elixir at $250. Now, I did first impressions on this, where I let everybody know what I think about the pricing structure of this one compared to the fragrance itself. So feel free to watch that if you haven't. I do not think this is worth $180. There's no way I can convince myself that it's worth that. I think compared to Sauvage Elixir, it does not hold up. Sauvage Elixir is just such a better fragrance. It's much richer, more attention-grabbing, more powerful, just higher quality, everything better over here with the Dior. So here's the deal. Maybe YSL Y Elixir drops in price in the future. Maybe it gets down to Y Eau de Parfum price points. At that point, maybe it's worth picking up. Actually, I would say it would be worth picking up for a lot of people at that price point. But I don't know that that's gonna happen. Unless there's just such a lack of interest in this that the price has to drop at Discounters in order to move the product. Otherwise, I mean, wouldn't it make sense that it would stay similar to the pricing over here of Sauvage Elixir? I would want to see this get down to like Y Eau de Parfum pricing. If this gets down to Y Eau de Parfum pricing, maybe at that point, yes. Check it out, pick it up. And Y Le Parfum is also quite expensive at full retail, but you get more of it than this one, so yeah, Y Elixir. Okay, we're gonna keep going with the big dogs. Bleu de Chanel Parfum up next from Chanel. 100 ml of this is $193. Now, Bleu de Chanel, especially the Parfum, I think probably the most elegant of the big designer blue fragrances. Well, not probably, it is. It smells very good, very good. It's classy, but it can be worn casually as well. Good compliment puller, versatility through the roof. This one, I think I will give a tentative yes, because it does smell very, very well done. There's not really much you can fault the fragrance for. You know, it doesn't smash you over the head with synthetic sweetness or anything. It's really well done. So yeah, I give it a tentative yes. It's just, that's a lot of money. After that, another parfum, Aqua de Joe parfum from Giorgio Armani. This one, we have gotten to the point where Aqua de Joe is one of the most expensive designer fragrances in the world. Again, not factoring in Tom Ford or signature private whatever lines. $198 for a 125 ml, this size. After tax, it's more than $200 in the US. A 75 ml though, that will save you so much money, it's $160. 160. Ah, it hurts the soul. So yeah, this is the replacement for Profumo. It's Aqua de Joe, you know, that means all of you pretty much know how it smells. I think it smells really good. I do. I think Aqua de Joe Parfum smells great, just like Profumo before it, or Profundo. I like it. Now this one you can save a decent amount from discounters. It's gonna be about $145 for this size bottle, 125 milliliters from discounters. And 75 ml is gonna run like 105, 106, somewhere in that range. So you do get a decent discount with this one. Unlike this, or this, or this, or this one you can get a little discount. So this one, I feel like with Bleu de Chanel, okay? You can wear it about anywhere. Great versatility, big compliment factor, but $200 for a bottle of 125 ml, I gotta say no. And that hurts me to say, because I've loved Aqua de Joe for a long time, you know? I have worn Aqua de Joe and flankers of it for decades, so yeah. Now at the discounter price, that's still pricey, I say yes. From discounters, yeah. That bit of money that you save, if you like Profumo or obviously Parfum, I think you can be happy with the purchase at discounters. It's still pricey, but it does come in a nice presentation that has a propensity to leak because Armani has switched to the refillable bottles across the line, which, great job. Next up is a surprise to me, okay? I ordered this one from Europe. The price wasn't this high when I ordered it, and then when I saw it at retail, I was like, whoa, holy crap. I did first impressions of this one on the Extra channel, by the way, Extra Gents, check it out. Do a lot of different videos over there on that channel, Extra Gents, so more fragrant stuff. Check it out. But I did first impressions of this over there. And at the time that I shot that, it wasn't available yet in the US, so I didn't know that this is what the price point was. Otherwise, I may have said something about that. It is Burberry Hero Parfum 183 doll hairs. Again, with the 183 over here, Gucci and Burberry doing some nefarious pricing. Also, another one that was a bit of a surprise, Burberry, Mr. Burberry Eau de Parfum was like 153. That is at discounters, like a $30 fragrance or something. So Hero Parfum 183. So I like the mid and the dry down of this. I think it smells nice. It smells actually really pleasant. The opening is not super pleasant. Yeah, I think actually out of the 3 Hero fragrances for me, that the opening to this one is probably the worst of the 3, but then the mid and the dry down are pretty good. That said, at 183, no, that is a hard pass. Yeah, 183 for Hero Parfum, I just cannot justify. I actually think that the Eau de Parfum on the whole, from top to bottom, when you factor in everything, is a better fragrance than this one, so this isn't even like the Hero I would necessarily gravitate toward. Again, I don't think it's bad, I just think the Eau de Parfum is a little bit easier to wear. And for nearly 200 bucks, or over 200 after taxes for some people, there's a lot of other stuff I'd go for. Ooh, next up, Terre, the Parfum version, the pure perfume. I have a monstrous sized bottle here, which I have had for a minute. I actually got it for a pretty good price years ago. But a 75 ml of that is gonna run you $165. Yes, it's a pretty good penny. $165 for a 75 ml size bottle, which is gonna be smaller than your average full size bottle, which is typically gonna be 100, or like the Aqua de Joe over here, 125 or 120. So 165 bucks will net you that sweet perfume concentration Terre, giving you that flinty earthiness that you desire, that somewhat dirty orange and vetiver. Now, obviously, I like the fragrance. I do. I think it smells very, very good, very classy, great use year-round, basically. But $165 for 75 mils, I gotta say no. And part of that is gonna be because from discounters, you can get that same size, same fragrance for less than half. About $80 for a 75 ml of the pure perfume, the Parfum iteration of Terre from discounters. So yeah, there's no way I can justify that. From discounters, $80, yes. Retail, no. Armani is here again. It's code, but not any code, no, it's the Parfum. Again, Parfum. So a 125 ml of Code Parfum goes for what? What do you think? Don't cheat. 195. 75 ml, 155. Save a whole 40 bucks. So it is very slightly cheaper than Aqua de Joe Parfum at retail. Now these prices, I pulled them from Macy's and Sephora and Ulta. Now one thing Code Parfum gives you that Aqua de Joe Parfum does not is a magnetic cap. Now Code Parfum is, I think, a great flanker actually. Nice freshness off the top, really appealing. The iris in there elevates everything, makes it extremely classy. It's a very easy wearing scent and good for year round. And you can get that one for a pretty nice discount. About $100 for the 125 mil at discounters. And then the 75 mil is actually not much less. A lot of places it's like 90. This could be a bias that I have from seeing it at discounters for basically half price, you know, for quite a while now. But when I smell this, you know, I think to myself, at that discounter price, $100, yeah, it's worth the splurge, you know? But then double that to 200 and I'm like, So I say with this one, discounters, yes, nice price. Retail, I feel kind of the same way as with the Aqua de Joe over here, where if you really enjoy it and you want to make that splurge purchase at full retail, I think it's a really nice fragrance. But I guess I have to give a yes or a no. I'll give it a tentative yes because the cap is magnetic. And I guess I'll switch Aqua de Joe to a tentative yes, but with both of those, I think that the smarter play is discounters. So I switched my mind. I'm allowed to do that, right? Yeah, I made the rules, so yeah. Voyage d'Hermes up next. This is the Parfum Edition, 100 ml size bottle. Yes, Hermes once more. Actually, H24 cheaper. Yeah, H24 cheaper than this or that by a decent amount. This one is $181. So, what's that, the cheapest one so far? When you factor in price per milliliter, it is anyway. I know that the Terre d'Hermes was $165, but that was for a smaller size bottle. And this one you can get for about $89 from discounters. So it's another one that's pretty steeply discounted, almost $100 off. Now, Voyage d'Hermes, probably the least popular one here. Actually, I'd say definitely the least popular, but it is fantastic. Okay, this stuff is awesome. I love the way this smells. The spiciness in here is so well done, elegant, a little bit sweet, fresh, very inviting, classy. It smells fantastic. It's really, 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 really good. Maybe it appeals more to guys close to middle age and older because it's not, you know, heavy with the sweetness or anything, but it is top notch. This is really, really, really stonking good. And at discounters, also worth it. All right, last one, Tumi, 19 degree. $175 for this one for a 100 ml size bottle. I like the presentation style. I think the bottle looks good. I like the cap. It's not magnetic, but the little locking mechanism that it has, that is pretty sweet. Now, the fragrance, also pretty sweet. This has saffron, raspberry, suede, birch, and some citrus as some of the notes. When you see that note breakdown, the first thing you think is Tuscan leather. Raspberry, suede, right? Leather, raspberry, but it doesn't smell like that. Actually, it's kind of in the vein of like intense citron, and you know, that means it's somewhat eventy as well. It is well done. It's very easy to wear. It's got great versatility. So this is gonna be one of those ones where if we're talking retail versus what you can get for that same price at discounters, no, it's not worth it. No, easily. Most of these aren't, okay? At retail versus everything else at retail, I like the way it smells, but I think I'd still probably say no and say that you'd be better off getting like Explorer or one of the Manceras. But don't take that as me saying this smells bad. It does not. And again, I like the presentation style. It's just pricey. So there we go. Expensive fragrances. Are they worth it? When you put retail against retail, I think about half of them are. If you say retail against what you can get at discounters, maybe a few. Yeah, it's harsh out there. There it is. Let me know what you think. I know some of you are gonna say none of these are worth it at retail when you consider what you can get at discounters for a similar price point, and others will disagree. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later. All right. I ingested some of that, sorry.